I don't know why I thought, you know what I need to do is swing this thing around.
Cowgirl style.
Very
yeah.
typical.
So I started swinging it and somebody was like, oh my God, Lynn, you almost hit me with your medal. So then there was like an area in like this walkway that naturally then people started egging me on. And I was like, watch this. And I was like swinging it in a more safe environment. And then Marley behind the camera was like, hammer throw. So then I'm like doing it like that. And obviously like that didn't help.
I'm sorry, he said hammer throw?
Yeah, you know the track and field event?
Yeah, I was just making sure that that's what he said.
Yeah.
I know what it is. Hi, everybody, and welcome to our final Best Of episode. The past few weeks, we've shared some of our favorite memories from hearing about the rise of triple espresso to the incredible stories of international players across the globe. Coming up on 1 year of the women's game also means 1 full year of Good Vibes FC. The podcast I get to do with Lynn and Becky, it's truly been such a highlight of my year. We've shared so many laughs, and there's really nothing better than just being goofy with your friends. I also have really loved getting to interact with all of you, our listeners, so much throughout the show. And I have very exciting news. Good Vibes is coming back very soon. So to recap 2024 and get us all ready for what's to come, here are some of my favorite moments with Lynn and Becky from Good Vibes FC. Us three, we are the self-anointed Somebody Feed Phil, 90-Day Fiancé, and Too Hot to Handle of women's soccer because this is reality. We are actually here doing this podcast and it's real. Oh my God. Do you guys like your alter egos for this show?
I was going to say, you said self-appointed, but you definitely gave that to me. So that was not self-appointed at all.
I did actually pick Too Hot to Handle.
Well, why didn't I get to pick anything?
Do you want to change your alter ego, Lynn?
No, I feel like that's pretty fitting.
You guys, we are here. We are back. And all three of us together. Are we so excited for the show?
Stoked. So stoked.
So excited. Becky, I don't know why it just hit me right now that you have Too Hot to Handle. That's like... So like we just read that and moved on, and like we need to like circle back.
I know. I'm like trying to think of why there's no real good reason. I just really like that show.
Oh, I love it too. I'm so excited.
She came on and I explained the bit to her and I go, we don't have an idea yet for you. Do you have one? And she goes, I think Too Hot to Handle is the first thing that comes to mind.
Done.
I'm so grateful and happy that we are all here doing the show together. And now contractually, you guys have to talk to me every week. I went to New Jersey this weekend and I stayed with Lynn. So like my good vibe is Lynn. Like I had this fear when I retired that my relationships with my teammates and friends would change a lot. And they have. But I think when I like go and see Lynn in person, I'm just reminded that relationships changing means that they sometimes it's a good relationship, it means that they're also growing. And I'm so thankful that the friendship that I have with Lynn is something that has like outlasted all of the adversity and changes and trials and tribulations that we've been through. We've been doing a podcast together for years. We've been teammates. I've retired. We don't live together anymore. And when I like just sit and talk to Lynn, I feel so connected to her. And I'm just so grateful that our friendship is growing with us through all of these changes. So that's my good vibe, is just when you have a really good friend.
I mean, you two are just beautiful, beautiful souls, really. I'm so glad that you guys have each other.
I know, I am too. This is so trash and it's gonna like totally ruin this good vibe, but selling the OC came out on Saturday when me and Lynn were together and we literally watched the whole season, and I was like, our friendship will never fizzle out because we will always have reality TV together. I'm joined by history maker, record breaker, the greatest goal scorer in the history of the National Women's Soccer League, Lynn Williams.
Hello, everyone. I am Lynn, and I'm here in New Jersey. Thank you so much. That was so sweet. What? Did you make that yourself?
I made this today. If you're just listening to this, I'm showing Lynn a funfetti cake that I baked, not only because she scored 79 goals and broke the record for the NWSL, but also because it is her birthday.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. That, first of all, are you going to ship it to me?
No, I was going to cut myself a slice and eat it during this episode.
Okay. Can you take a bite from me right now
Yep.
so I can just live through your taste buds?
If you are listening to this on audio, you probably want to go get the YouTube because I'm just going to dig right in, right over
Ooh.
here in the corner.
Do you have a favorite cake? Is it?
You know it's funfetti. Oops. I made a little slop.
Yeah. Get it in there. Is it so good?
Yeah.
I'm jealous. My mom sent me a cake though, so I'm going to have a cake later today and I'm very excited about it.
Well, Lynn, I know that I did not send you a cake, but I am eating cake in your honor. One, I'm so proud of you. This is the coolest thing ever that you are the record goal scorer in the NWSL. And also, you're 31 years old.
I know. It's crazy. All the numbers just keep going up and up and up.
79, 80, 81, 82.
31, 32. That's how it goes, I guess.
And then, Sammy, the other 2 goals in the match were scored by Gotham defender Tierna Davidson. I like to say that every time a defender scores, an angel gets its wings. And Tierna scored not 1, but 2 goals off corner kicks at the back post, scoring her, wait for it, 2nd and 3rd international goals. And she's only scored 4 career goals overall. 2 coming in this game.
I know.
How crazy is that?
That's like kind of statistically an anomaly.
I know. Tierna was out there like, I make it rain, I make it rain, I make it rain.
Becky, yes!
Yes. Well, Sammy, were you at the 2022 Players Ball?
I don't know. I have my years mixed up.
Okay, we had just signed the CBA. We had that huge party in New York after we played Germany. Okay. And Fat Joe, he was our entertainment for the night.
You're so right. He was.
And everyone went crazy. They loved it.
You're so right. I actually remember. So Becca Rue is the executive director of the PA. And for some reason, I remember thinking there was like this surprise guest performer. And I remember thinking, I think that it was Lizzo or Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, we were trying, I think.
We were trying. And then it was Fat Joe. So I was like, all right, like pretty lit. Like I'll take it. And it was really fun.
I know. I will say that I think that Fat Joe got overshadowed by Rose Lavelle singing Celine Dion, though.
I'll say. I maintain that I made that song come on and I made Rose get up on stage and sing it. So like, I would like a little bit of credit for helping make that happen.
You got it. You've got all the credit.
We need to talk about the leg sleeve. The leg sleeve was the most viral sensation of the Olympics. Like I am so obsessed with it. Lynn laugh leg sleeve. Like I love it so much. There is this goal.com article that says, quoting, the title, Lynn Williams' leg sleeve is a symbol of self-liberation in a cutthroat sport. What do you think when you hear that?
Like, I don't know. First of all, cutthroat sport, duh.
Was it self-liberation or was it more practical than that?
I think a little bit of both. That's like kind of a crazy title. It makes me sound so cool.
I know.
I mean, that's why you wear it, right? For
Exactly.
self-liberation. Yeah.
But what was the leg sleeve? Why did you wear it?
Okay, so I had a calf injury before the Olympics. It wasn't a common calf injury. Basically, I split my fascia in half. And so I needed to yeah, I know, gross.
Squeeze it back together.
Yeah, so I had to get my calf drained. And so like part of the medical term, the medicalness, I don't know how to say that, but was like, we need to make sure we squish it together so it doesn't fill up with fluid again. So that's how it started. And then I was like, okay, I should play with this. And then it's like stopped. I didn't need it anymore, but with my history of my hamstring and my other knee, like it felt good to play with it.
Yeah.
And it, like, I don't know if you guys ever wore that leg sleeve like in life, but it just feels nice, like the compression. So I was like, why?
A little hug.
Yeah, like a little hug. So I was like, why wouldn't I just start playing with this? Like, every other sport does it and it's like no big deal, but then you do it in soccer and like
it's an act of self-liberation.
It's active self-liberation. And so then Marley was like, this is so cool. You have to like keep it going. And I was like, okay.
It like was so cool.
It did make you look real cool. I mean, you're already really cool, but
Thank you so much.
And then Lynn, the literal whole team adopted it. Like there was a picture of you guys later.
I know.
I think you were at the Village or you were doing something Olympics themed and like 8 people had on a leg sleeve.
Well, again, it's so tough. So I think people were like, I need this to like again have like a little hug throughout the day. So it's not like I guess I started kind of like in the games, but to walk around, we've done it for a long time. But the funny thing is in one of the games, I ended up injuring my other knee on the other leg. So I was like, okay, well, I need to actually switch this for actual medical purposes. And people were like, she switched her leg sleeve. Like it's always been for show. And I'm like, I swear
Totally.
it's not. Like I don't know why anybody would choose to wear a thick leg sleeve in the dead of summer in France. In France. And then in the at the after party, I was wearing a leg sleeve, and somebody was like, "Oh, look at you! You're still wearing it." And I was like, "I'm
Committed
still
to the bit.
injured." I had the medal on,
Yeah.
and I had a couple drinks, maybe a lot of couple drinks, and I don't know why I thought, you know what I need to do is swing this thing around.
Cowgirl style.
Very
Yeah, so I
typical.
started swinging it, and somebody was like, "Oh my God, Lynn, you almost hit me with your medal." So then there was like an area in like this walkway that naturally then people started egging me on, and I was like, "Watch this," and I was like swinging it in a more safe environment. And then Marley behind the camera was like, "Hammer throw." So then I'm like doing it like that, and obviously like that didn't help.
I'm sorry, he said hammer throw.
Yeah, you know the track and field event.
Yeah, I was just making sure that that's what he said.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I had a couple drinks, a couple, maybe more than a couple.
Okay.
But like how the medal is you have the ribbon inside, and then there's usually like a bar that will hold it like that inside. And the bar must have flung out. Not on though when I was like swinging it around, that probably loosened the bar. And then I had the medal like this on my arm because when I was dancing, I felt like it was whipping me. And so I was like, I'm going to put it on my arm like a little purse. And I was jumping when we were all jumping up and down, and I jumped up and I came down, and all of a sudden I'm like, my medal. And so I'm like now like being like, okay, there it is. And I grab my medal, and then I hold it up, and I'm like, I broke my medal. And Marley's like, what on earth? How did you do that? And so then the next day I am now sober, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a dent in my medal, and I have no ribbon attached to it. And so honestly now, like
Honestly, it's a better
Yeah,
story.
like,
Great
if-
story.
but when we went to the closing ceremony and everybody got to wear their medals, and I had to just be like this the whole time.
Like
It
a
was-
badge?
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty sad. So that was the one time I wish I wish my medal wasn't broken.
This brings us to our Olipop gut check of the week, actually. Do Olympic gold medals need to be more durable?
I have never heard of someone else destroying their medal.
You have a
I
gold
didn't
medal, Becky.
destroy it.
I'm sorry, detach it from its ribbon. Is that the proper way of saying it?
Yeah. But they did say there's a thing going around saying that France Olympic medals or people are having issues with them. Tarnishing, not
I
detaching.
think I'm my gut check on this. Hot take. They should be as durable as the athletes. If Lynn Williams can detach her medal just by doing a little bit of hardcore celebrating, I think it needs to be more durable. That's my take.
I agree with that. I think that they should.
This is the most powerful woman in the world.
Exactly. You should see me in the corner shielding girls off. Powerful,
Yeah.
powerful woman.
Like, it's not an egg, it's a medal.
I think for the weight to ribbon ratio, there needs to be a bar that can hold the weight. Again, don't hammer throw your medal.
Yeah. Words to live by, kids.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to,
You could.
it should still have a dent, but it should stay on. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like
Becky?
it's not even okay, Becky, look inside of there.
Let's
It's
convince
not
Becky.
even like there's like a where a pinhole should be. So it's almost like the bar was just resting in there.
Or you just completely destroyed the inside of it and we wouldn't even know if there were pins to hold the bar
Lynn,
in.
Becky's not on our side.
I'm not on your side. I'm so sorry.
The pin wasn't even gold, it was silver.
Well, yeah, it's just gilded. It's not solid gold. Did I just destroy your dreams?
No,
by
I did
saying
that.
Okay, good.
But they should make that at least gold too.
They should make the whole thing gold. That's
Even
Yeah,
though
I
I
know
like-
it was my fault, Becky. It's fine.
No.
Hot take though. And we should have that slogan for 2028 LA.
as
and,
powerful as the athletes.
yeah, and then they should give it to me and watch me hammer throw it.
That's like a test.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Lynn should do hammer throwing at the 2028 Olympics.
Oh my gosh. Should my next career be hammer throw?
I think this is the start of something great, and you can go get another gold medal and break that one too. We have so much fun on this podcast, and I love getting to spend time every week with Lynn and Becky. It wasn't all laughs, though. It was a year of a lot of retirements, and I feel so lucky to have Good Vibes as an outlet to reflect back on the careers of some of my friends, like Kelly O'Hara and Alex Morgan. Here are a few of my favorite moments reflecting on their retirements. Kelly O'Hara has been to 4 World Cups. She's won twice. She's a 3-time Olympian. She has a gold medal, a bronze medal, and she's a 2-time NWSL champion. Becky, we've been teammates with Kelly for years. We love her. We're friends with her. How did you feel when you heard the news that she's ready to retire at the end of the year?
I think for me, it's bittersweet because it's kind of for me an ending of an era. Having known Kelly, we basically got onto the national team around the same time, grew up through that experience, and I've gotten really close with her through the years. And so like knowing her and knowing just how much she loves the game and how she said that, you know, retirement was either going to be my heart was no longer in it or my body was no longer going to allow me to play it at the level that I wanted to play. And her saying like it was her body and not her heart. Like I was just like, oh, like, dang, that's tough. And the way that Kelly, as you know, Sam, the way that she plays soccer, like it is full bodied, full heart, hucks herself into things she has no need to be hucking herself into, always been one of the fittest, the most competitive. And so I just feel like women's soccer is losing like a legend.
I know. I completely agree. I feel really lucky that I got to see Kelly this weekend and talk to her about it a little bit. And I think when I first heard about it, I think my heart goes out to her in a unique way because it was also my body and not my heart that forced me to stop playing. And so in a way, I feel like I have a lot to share with players like Kelly, friends, teammates, people in my life who will go through retirement, whether they're ready to or not. I feel like I kind of understand some of the challenges that come with this transition. And I hope that people like Kelly and my friends can like lean on me. I've said to Kelly multiple times, like, I know that there's like nothing I could really say to like help, but I am here. And I think that as you go through some things, like I'd love to be there for you and help you wherever I can. I said I recorded a little video for her and I was trying to be like, retirement rocks. But I was like, retirement is weird but like, it's okay. And like, I couldn't
As
even
like
really
single tears falling.
Yeah, right. I couldn't even really like come around to being like, it's going to be great. But I do know for Kelly, it is going to be great. She's such a wonderful person and she has so much else in her life besides soccer. So just overall, such a legend. Her competitiveness, I think, sets such a high standard on the national team, and playing against her is like such a nightmare.
Can I tell you a short story about
Please.
Kelly playing in her first World Cup match in the 2011 World Cup in Germany? So Kel had made the team as kind of like a late roster replacement for Lindsay Tarpley, who had torn her ACL. And so I didn't know Kelly that well. Like when you first get on the national team, you're like, you're just trying to survive, you know, like bonding with other people is a hard thing to do because you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be here next week. And so we're both on the bench for the first few games. And then Kelly gets to play. And she didn't think she was going to see a minute of the World Cup. And so she goes in and it's like, it's not her best game. You know, she's playing an attacking position. She has some rough touches. I'm so excited for her because she just played in a World Cup. And so whistle blows, we actually lost the match. It was a group stage game. And I run up to her and I'm like, oh my gosh, Kelly, like you just like lived your dream. You got to play at a World Cup. And like in the most self-deprecating, funny way, she was like, and I failed at it. And that was the moment I was like, I think we're going to be great friends. Like if you can laugh at yourself in a moment like this, like our vibes are going to be vibing forever. And then after the 2019 World Cup, where we had just won our second, we're on the plane heading back to the States. And I think the trophy is like strapped into the chair across from us. And we're just like drinking some champagne, looking at each other and at the trophy and being like, oh my God, we did it. Like we did this. We did it twice. Like from 2011 to 2019, like, look, we were in such disbelief, Sam. It was like, obviously you were there, but like, we were just like, how did we get here? Like, it's unbelievable. And so I just love that I shared that like complete full circle of our World Cup experiences. And sad that I didn't get to do that with her in 2023, but having that in 2019 with her was really special.
What always really struck me about Alex is like, I think from the outside, people who might not know her, there would be an expectation of like, there's Alex and then there's the rest of us on the team. And Alex never made me feel like that. I felt like the moment I was Alex's teammate, we were equals. And Alex had just as much respect for me as I had for her, which is like crazy because I was like a 22-year-old nobody and like was getting megged left and right at my first training. But she is able to like look out at her team and never separate herself by her reputation or her fame. Like she was very much like, if we're a team, you're my teammate and we're in this together and we're equals. And I really, really respected that about Alex.
My first Alex memory, actually, she wasn't even there, but my first cap, I wore number 13. And I didn't really know I was wearing number 13 until the game started. And part of me was like, obviously really excited. Like, of course I want to wear her number. I was also the number 9 too. And she wasn't in the camp for whatever reason. I don't remember. So I was like, did you guys really have to give the person who is also playing her same position her number? And I think that like that was the first time I really felt her impact on the soccer field, because the fans were just like, why are you wearing her number? That's Alex's number.
You're like, it wasn't up to me, you guys.
It wasn't up to me. I didn't pick this. It was just given to me. I'm so sorry. She'll have it back. But obviously when you're younger, you're like, I'm so sorry. But now looking back, it was like literally the first moment that I was like, okay,
there's like a weight to this.
There's a huge weight to this. And I was like, I really want to do this number proud. I want to do her proud. And I also like don't want to let the fans down. But that was like my first Alex experience without even meeting her. So then the next camp I was like, here, take it back.
Yeah, please take this burden off my shoulders. I will wear any other number. One of my favorite parts of Good Vibes is hearing from you, the listeners. You asked us so many creative and fun questions throughout the past year. So here are just a couple of my favorites. Let's go to the inbox. We got an email from Darcy that asks, hi, Sam, Lynn, and Becky. Absolutely loving the show. Thank you for bringing a smile to my face each week. I have a question inspired from TikTok. If the three of you were together in person and an identical clone of each of you also showed up, what would you get them to do or ask them to prove who was the actual Sam, Lynn, or Becky? Side note here from Darcy. Clones have the same appearance, voice, singing, and athletic ability as the person who they are impersonating. For example, I would prove I'm not a clone of myself, as my friends know I can sing the alphabet backwards, thanks to a year 5 school camp. Thanks again for a fantastic show. Darcy from Melbourne, Australia, thank you so much for writing in. Okay, Becky, we're all together. There's 6 of us, apparently. How are you going to prove yourself, or how are you going to prove who me and Lynn are?
Oh, this is such a fun question. Okay, so Sammy, for you, and I can't even say the joke on the show because this is a family-friendly show, but I would ask you, Sammy, at Morgan Cottrell's wedding, in the back of a shuttle, what did you say that almost had the shuttle driver off-roading? You said something so hilarious. I have never cackled.
I don't know.
So hard in my life.
Hot.
And so I would ask you or your clone that question because it is burned into my brain and I still giggle about it to this day.
Wait, but I don't even know the answer. So how do we know that I'm not a clone right now?
If I told you, I think you would remember. I mean, we both had some adult bevies. Maybe you more than most.
Me?
Yeah. And I wish, I can tell you offline, but it was, to this day, Zola and I will still laugh about it.
Oh my God. You need to tell me. I think I would prove to you who I was by saying the thing about Pat and the socks.
Oh.
But that's also not a story I'm willing to share publicly.
Okay, let's go a little bit more PG then. For me, it would probably be like, I have a very specific coffee order.
Oh, yeah.
How many shots do I take in my iced latte?
I want to say 4, but that sounds crazy.
Nope, you're wrong. The clones are going to take
3.
over. It's 3, yeah. I think for Lynn, I would be like, hi, here's a gold medal. How would you break this? And if she didn't immediately hammer throw it, we would know that she's not the real Lynn.
That is literally such a good one. I think for both of you, I would like go in really aggressively for a hug and like try to read your reaction, because I just feel, again, like I know that you'd rather not hug. So usually I don't like force you to hug.
I love hugs.
What?
Okay, I feel like we don't know each other at all. I love hugs. Just because I don't initiate hugs doesn't mean I don't love receiving hugs.
I'm like so rattled. I actually feel like I don't know you at all. Me and Lynn pretty decidedly like don't hug. So like I feel like with Lynn, I would like go in aggressively for a hug and try to be like, is she like a little bit freaked out by this?
You know, another one that you could do would be, hey, do you want to share this drink with me? And you know that I'd be like, absolutely not.
Yeah, that is a good one.
God, Sam,
Becky.
we need to work on our friendship.
Clearly. You know what else I could do is, I do know that you love sleeping. And so I could suggest that we do something early in the morning.
I just see my reaction of being like, well, are you sure we can't do it at 10?
I literally love this question. I might carry this over to next week and ask Lynn the same thing, because it's a really good one. Wait, Becky, how would you differentiate if Zola was a clone?
Oh, I'd probably ask him to smell something, because his mannerism when he smells something is so weird. Like, he does this thing with his like hand and he puts it real close to his I know. It like grosses me out, but it's so, I've never seen anyone smell something like he does. So that's probably what I would ask him to do.
Oh my God, that is really funny. I'm trying to think about with Pat. I would probably have him cook something and I feel like I'd know right away.
If it was bad?
Yeah, or like I just, you know, like you just kind of know what somebody else's food tastes like.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
All right, anyway, that was a really fun question, Darcy. Thank you so much for writing in. Maybe we need to invent a Good Vibes secret handshake so we know who the clones are.
Oh, I like that. I've never really had a handshake.
I know. I'm now doing something weird with my hands to try to think about what it would be.
Oh, we'll work on it offline.
We'll work on it offline.
For you, I would say, what's Finn's nickname?
Oh. You know what I've been calling Finn a lot lately? Mr. Muffins.
I'd say, why are you calling him that?
I don't know, because his name, like Muffin, kind of has the word Finn in it. And it just kind of like tumbles out of my mouth.
Explain that more.
Muffin.
Okay. You explained it. Fine. Jeez.
And the clone would just be, what do you think the clone would say?
It would be Finner. Say, that's Finner. Finny.
Finsky Doodle Cakes.
I would say,
Finmeister Jones.
I'd say, talk with your hands. And if they did the same hand movements as you, I'd be like, oh, now I'm confused.
Okay, speaking of hands, I did want to read one more new email from Daniela.
Well, you didn't do
me.
me.
I already did. I told you the hugging thing. I would go in for a big hug.
I'd be like,
or maybe I'd go like this and I'd run up to you, and if you chest bumped me, I'd know it was you. If you're listening to this on audio, not watching on YouTube, I just got big and tapped my chest hard.
I like that. Okay.
All right. One more. Quick. Daniela says, love you guys and your podcast so much. My question for you is, if you could have any 5 liquids on tap from your fingers infinitely, what would they be?
Coffee. Olipop.
Duh.
LaCroix.
Water, sparkling water, or?
Sparkling LaCroix water. What's
no,
yours?
You don't want flat water.
I'll just leave my LaCroix out. I'll get flat.
Ew. I want flat water as one, because that's just...
Oh, you want LaCroix and flat water?
Yeah.
Okay, then what's your 5th one?
I might go a little alcoholic beverage.
Ooh.
Like a little bit of wine. Keep it classy.
Ooh. A red or a white?
I think probably a orange or a pink.
You are all about those orange pink wines.
I know.
Okay, I'm doing Olipop, coffee, LaCroix, some kind of juice, honestly. Like, I need a juice in my life, like an apple juice.
Okay.
And
what
one
about
margarita.
Milk? A margarita. I might go milk. I might have to switch something out for a milk.
Probably one of your waters.
One of my waters can become a milk, a nice whole milk. Just in case you're ever in a pickle and you have black coffee in your hand, you just need a little splash of milk. But I'd never be in a pickle, because I'd have my coffee, hopefully with milk already in it, coming out of my thumb.
Stop doing that with your thumb.
Let's go to the inbox. We got an email from Sarah that asks, what's your favorite Halloween candy and why?
Oh man, this is so lame. I don't really like candy that much. And so if I had to choose, I know, if I had to choose, I would go with the bite-sized Snickers. And then I would put them in the freezer so that they're really cold when I eat them.
Okay. I mean, it's a good choice. I am going to need everybody to come for Becky in the comments. Like, that was such a crazy response thing to say. Sarah, I hope you're not too offended. Like, Becky, I don't know. You just built a bridge between us. My favorite Halloween candy is Reese's, obviously. If I can get my hands on a Reese's pumpkin or like a Reese's ghost or a Reese's bat or whatever they are, yes. But when I was trick-or-treating, I would always just get all Reese's. And like, I also like Kit Kats. But like, now as an adult, I do feel like Reese's are superior to Kit Kats.
So not to like burst your bubble or anything, but isn't it Reese's, not Reese's? Because it's Reese's Pieces. It's not Reese's Pieces.
You don't
That
even
doesn't
like
rhyme.
candy, Becky.
I know, but I also like things to be pronounced correctly.
So it's Reese's?
I mean, let's also ask the people in the comments.
I would call them Reese's Pieces.
I got nothing to say to that.
Okay, everybody, you let us know. Are you going to trust the person who eats a lot of Reese's Pieces and Reese's products? Or are you going to trust the person who admittedly doesn't even like candy and has to put it in the freezer so she can't taste it? I don't know. I actually would. I'm not even like saying this to be stubborn. Like, I have called them Reese's Pieces my entire life.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think you are.
Very
I'm
likely
just like a
am.
little embarrassed, but like, I think it's better that they're Reese's Pieces.
Okay.
It's more fun.
All right.
Okay, this one had to be brought up. Towards the end of the year, I called Lynn out for her good vibe at the end of the show, literally always being about just having a little treat. So we compiled all of Lynn's good vibes here to see just how right I was. I want to compile all of Lynn's good vibes because they're literally like, just enjoy it, make yourself a treat, try to enjoy it, and just make yourself a treat.
My good vibe is just do something that makes you happy. Have a good chat. Get that donut. Eat that cupcake. Have a burger. Treat yourself.
I think everybody should just go get some flowers.
Florals for spring. Groundbreaking.
I made myself banana bread, chocolate chip cake. The only reason why I say it's a cake is because it was in a cake pan because I didn't have a bread loaf. Get dressed. Get up and shower and get dressed, everybody.
Ooh, like a full gas tank. I don't think there's a better feeling.
Just get your stuff organized. Let that junk go. Just get outside. Just explore and get outside. Go take a nap. Just enjoy the good weather that we have. What else do you need? Weather and treats. Just do what you want. I stand by that.
Okay, honestly, I called Lynn out way too hard. Her good vibes were actually so good. She had great variety, great messaging, very positive. Shout out to Lynn for actually always having the best good vibe. And shout out to Becky for just putting up with us all year. And shout out to you all for listening to our silliness every week. Season 2 of Good Vibes will return very soon, everybody. And I am so excited to get back into it. Make sure you're subscribed to our podcast feed, YouTube channel, and that you're following along with us on social media because big news is coming very, very soon. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye. Love you so much.